My pitch is called Namu, the Love Guru. The idea is that we as humans often struggle in our communications with others, especially in love and partnership. Growing up, we're taught how to communicate by those that raise us, and we carry forward those patterns, which often do not give us the results we're looking for. Ultimately, without learning new communication and behavior patterns, we are stuck. Enter Namu the Love Guru, a mystical Yoda-like guru right at your fingertips, like a chatbot on your iPhone, that helps us locate these old patterns and guides us on new ways of behaving and communicating. How does it work? Initially, the user will create a profile that allows Namu to begin to psychologically profile its user. The built-in AI will allow her to learn and analyze the user, so as they begin to converse, telling her their issues and asking for advice, she'll be able to locate these old patterns and make suggestions for new ones. I think the target audience for this will be primarily girls and women 14 up. Dating and relationships is a huge focus for most women, and having a tool like this to help us navigate our choices more wisely would have a huge potential. And I think it could be interesting to see how it could be integrated into online dating sites as well. My commitment is to empower people to have healthy communication and partnerships, and I feel that Namu would be deeply beneficial because it would put a tool right in the hands of everyone around the planet, allowing them easy access towards learning new skills in the most important thing in life, communication.
Okay, a little over time, that's okay. So who wants to ask the first question? Go ahead.
And I did have panels, but they weren't there.
Is this like a one-to-one advisor? So you're asking...
So I picture it to be like a chatbot on your phone. If you think about Siri, but if you could actually communicate with it and have developing dialogue, almost like a little therapist on your phone. And that's really the intention, is to actually give people tools that might not have access to that, an opportunity to be able to communicate and have an intelligent being be able to say, hey, you're doing that thing that you always do. You got that from your parents. And this would be another suggestion for a new way of communicating, a new way of behaving that might give you a different result in your life. It's like how to get you off the hamster wheel.
So it's observing you, or you're telling it something and it's...
You would be talking with it. You would be communicating. It'd be like you go to your friends for advice and you're like, hey, what do I do about this guy? Only your friend doesn't have a better solution than you. But this artificial intelligent being, with all of the archetypal and psychological profiling that it would be able to have in its data, would actually be able to make more intelligent advisory, choices for you that you could potentially take if you're interested,
Okay, thank you, Eve.
Okay.
Next up is Mark Netter.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. All right, great. So imagine yourself appearing in the very movie that you're watching on your phone or your tablet, and that's the goal of Nightmare Code Project Roper, which would be the first movie that watches you back. Now, Nightmare Code, as you can see, is an award-winning sci-fi thriller, and it's the first movie feature film told entirely from the point of view of an artificial intelligence, using surveillance camera, PC cam, and eyeglass cam. It's all about a troubled startup. They're desperately trying to go gold with a behavior recognition program that's called Roper. But Roper is, which ropes in all the video in the area, analyzes human behavior in real time. But Roper's taking on a mind of its own. It's rewriting its own code, and it's actually modifying the behavior of the programmers closest to it in violent ways. But part of the game of watching the movie is, for the most part, at least half the movie, the screen's divided into 4 surveillance quads. Every image chosen by Roper for us to see, and sometimes the quads show different angles on the same scene, but sometimes they're replications that are kind of fuzzed out with a kind of static. And we propose filling those frames with the viewers themselves as if Roper is watching you back. Now, under my creative guidance, the development team for Project Roper will build an app that requests access to the user's photo gallery, social streams, and their camera. So when the user plays a movie, the app replaces those images with images from their lives in real time, all as if chosen by Roper. And we'll take this already mind-bending movie that asks relevant questions about AI and make a one-of-a-kind, never repeatable movie experience for people, the first movie that watches you back.
So you said this is one of a kind, right? You're not going to be able to make another experience after this, or will the work that you put in this be able to be used in some other project?
Well, it's an interesting question as to whether or not we could actually make a business model where we do more movies that work this way, and I'm not against that at all. What's great about this is the movie's already out. You can watch it on Amazon Prime, 10 other platforms. So really the technology job is to be able to ingest the movie, be able to replace those quarter frames, or if somebody doesn't give access, they just watch the movie as it is. But what would be great and make it sort of always a one-of-a-kind experience is that we can randomize it or use the AI to intelligently choose what goes into the different frames, different parts. Are we pulling from Facebook? Are we pulling from Instagram? Are we pulling from your camera? What's it going to be at that particular moment?
Next question? Time for one more?
No?
No, I think he answered my question.
I'll ask a question, and it's also kind of a general question as well, which is, it would be really good to know the business plans of everyone. I mean, even if it's only 10 seconds to know what the end objective is. I mean, are we trying to change the world, or are we trying to make money, or are we trying to build a business that has a future?
Yeah, we're trying to sell this as an app for tablet and mobile on both Google Play and the App Store.
So this would actually draw every user's individual social media, not just once. It would pull it in each time.
Yeah, the idea is once you give access, like you would give permission to any other app to look at your Facebook or potentially other feeds, Facebook being the obvious one, your photo gallery, and I think most importantly your camera, because I think the most shocking thing will be at certain points when your face appears on there, and it appears with the kind of, let me just go back to the images here, where there's some sort of static that replicates what we do in the movie. I mean, I sort of mocked it up over there as best I could, that it would be kind of a really freaky experience and give you this very alive experience that really kind of brings home the idea of being inside of the mind of an AI.
Okay. And could I watch this more than once? In other words, if I take new things? Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is Robin Herman, protagonist for the
He's right here, Robin.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty. I'm pitching Protagonist, which is a system to create truly interactive experiences in video games and VR. Pitch is the following. Is this change? Video games and VR are basically empty experiences in one particular sense. If you encounter the characters are canned, just like movies were in the silent era. You have a bit of action, then you watch the story in a canned sequence, and you have a bit of action. And VR is a great spectacle, but it's basically empty spectacle. It doesn't have content. Protagonist solves these problems. You interact, you're in the movie, you're the protagonist. We use basically goal-directed characters to push you along a narrative timeline, along the river of plot, and there's thousands of possible branches. And it's also the point is that it's truly interactive. It's truly verbally interactive. You talk to the characters, they respond. The characters have what we call D modes, which are these motifs, these cinematic motifs or these narrative motifs. Okay, that push you, that make your experience truly interactive.
Is this a platform?
Is
this on a platform, like a virtual reality platform?
Well, this is a sort of an AI platform that could be applied to virtual reality or to video games or to television.
Cloud-based?
Not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's could be local, it could be cloud. It doesn't really matter.
Is there a specific game that you have in mind, or is this just a concept of the way the characters should be there?
I have a couple of ideas. I mean, what the Truth Sleuth, the image on the right is like the best immediate application. It's sort of like a law and order procedural crime drama, or a crime comedy drama, you could say. And that would, the simplest way to demonstrate, or the minimum viable product, you could get the best results with a story like that.
In your write-up, you mentioned some patents. Do you have any patents then on this? And can you say something just briefly about that?
Yeah, I have 2 patents on the system. One back from '97, I think, or no, sorry, 2006 and one more recent. And they're basically, you know, if you read the patent, it describes the system pretty fully.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, Robert. Next up, number 4, is Eric Klein with Talkable.
Talkables are wireless audio earrings. Talkables are wireless audio earrings. You can talk on the phone, listen to music, interface with a digital assistant. It's a marriage of wearable tech and jewelry. We're calling it the last inch of the internet. All these big companies are doing AIs with voice UX, but they all need the final inch to make the products work. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants, really. We don't have to do tremendous technology development to make our product work. So the earlobe, we're saying the earlobes are the Beverly Hills of bodily real estate. But you can see on this woman, the earlobe looks good. And I think that's a problem that a lot of women have with the hearables, is that they don't like the way that they look. This is a huge market. Hearable sales are already a $5 billion market, but you can see the smartphone sales and jewelry sales are just tremendous. And we think actually that the smart earring can be a very successful product. 53% of women are interested in audio earrings, which is pretty amazing for a product that has not even been introduced yet. So people either really get this right away, or they kind of don't. But most women really get the product. So why would you want to wear dumb earrings when you can wear smart earrings? Thanks.
Can I just say one pointing towards market validation? I hear what you're saying. I mean, depending on how you point the question and say, would you be interested in this, most people will say yes. But how do you know, considering it's not being done right now, that women will actually pay money to have smart jewelry?
From talking to a number of women, I've gotten that response. In this same poll, so this was done by Jeweler magazine, in the same poll, 30% of the respondents said they were interested in smart watches. So audio earrings had almost double the reaction, almost double the positive reaction.
What would be the price point?
That's up in the air. We have some components that are expensive, but between 100 and 200, obviously we'd like to get it down to $100 a pair. That's really a real sweet spot in the market.
And would the design be interchangeable?
No. I think that cheapens the product. People can, at $100, people can get a blue one, a red one. We can also do things with lights or with like an LCD display, something like that, so that you could change the color and the look of it and actually have that programmed, which is actually, it's probably the best, solution to that issue.
In terms of AI, there's no actual AI in the earrings themselves. It's more the AI connection is the aspect that someone could, let's say, talk to Siri or Alexa through this mechanism. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is just an audio vehicle, and that's really all it does, audio in and audio out. And the Talkable doesn't really care what that content is. That's right.
Can I just ask about the designer? Because the key is the designer. The smart is fine, is easy, but the design is going to be pointing. Is it a well-known designer that you're using, or anybody who's ever designed anything before?
You're talking about the jewelry components of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we're dealing with well-established jewelry designers and jewelry production companies in Rhode Island. And Rhode Island has been a center for jewelry design and production since the late 1700s. So they're very in touch with the latest styles. They do the designs for stores in Manhattan, Tiffany's, places like that.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Eric. So our fifth presenter is Suzanne Schmidt, Guided Dramatic Imagination. I'll give you the 10-second headset.
Thank you. Can I take this off? Cool. I do better when I'm... Thank you. Hi. So one thing I've been thrilled to hear today is a lot of talk about creation and the story, because this app is actually a tool to help develop and harness the powers of our imaginations to create stories and characters. I have my master's in acting, and I am a private acting coach in Hollywood. Stanislavski, who's one of the great masters of acting, defines acting as living truthfully within imaginary circumstances. So I've studied a lot about the power of our imagination. And our dramatic imagination allows us to create and experience a character's world with transformative understanding. This app is for storytellers. It's for actors, writers, directors, gamers. There's two parts of the app. The first part is actually a guided workout. So it's guided exercises to help strengthen the visual imagination. And the second part is guided character creation. So you're creating the most influential memories of a character. In essence, you're artificially inserting memories to help us more truthfully live within imaginary circumstances. My students are constantly asking me to create something like this because it doesn't exist. And people hire me privately and in groups to lead them through this, but I would be thrilled to make it more available because Alex Lightman said something this morning that was awesome. He said, the hardware's there, the software's there, all we need are the stories. So I would love to make more ways to create. That's it?
Right on.
Oh, yay. Nice.
Questions? Go ahead.
So,
There you go, Alex. Thank you.
so you're looking at creating an expert system that is based partially on your experience and coaching and the needs of the people that you coach.
Yes,
That can
sorry.
add additional contextual information based on the kinds of roles they're looking at, or.
Right. So depending on whether you're going for the workout aspect, which with the workout, I'm going to guide you through creating all sorts of, there will be, once you've gone through one series, you can kind of delete it and there will be new ones pop up. Just taking you to a first grade classroom, to the side of a cliff, to a beach, the middle of a circus, just anywhere you can go so that, and I will guide you through seeing what, deciding what you see. You get to create it. But it's that way of coming up with the specific visualizations, because the more we do this, the more quickly we can do it, and the more, and when you're guided, it kind of takes over the intellectual aspect of it. So your creativity is actually given more freedom. You can create more fully when someone is guiding you through it, because you don't have to ask yourself the question somebody else is asking them. And then as far as the character creation, yes, there will be, I think, different components. Like, for instance, if you were creating something fantastical, I think that would be a separate. I may ask different questions in the guiding. Or if you're doing something that's a period, you may get different questions because I may ask, if you're waking up in the morning, does someone come, does someone enter to dress you? Or something that would be specific to that period that wouldn't be prevalent now. Does that make sense?
That's time.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was long. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Thanks.
We have a switch out because the presentation wasn't loaded. Just take 30 seconds. So the next up is Jim Dolbear with Expanse Inc.
How do you switch the? And you just forward back. Okay. Hi, I'm Jim Dolbear. I want to tell you about Expanse. Expanse is the first affordable headset that turns your smartphone into a personal theater. Wide field of view, high resolution. It's about 5 times the resolution of Samsung Gear VR or Google Daydream. We've demoed and been favorably reviewed by some of the leading publications, Upload VR and MIT Technology Forum, and also by industry leaders. The former editor and publisher of The Hollywood Reporter, the chief creative content officer at Netflix. The good news for us is that we're in the middle of a fundamental shift in the consumption of video content to mobile, and this doesn't even include the emerging content categories like 360-degree video and live video, and Expanse is great for that with high resolution and head tracking. How do we do it? Why Expanse? Well, basically what happened was the virtual reality headsets take the traditional rectangle aspect ratio, they divide it in two, and to achieve stereoscopic side by side. So they have 2 squares, and then they put a circle, so you look through a magnifying optic. What we did is we have a completely different optical design that respects the traditional rectangle aspect ratio. We reoriented the phone, and we have a rectangular optical element. And so the bottom line is, if you watch a movie with Samsung Gear VR, it's 480p, which is like 30-year-old TV. With us, it's 2K cinema. The market opportunity is huge because basically all the content, 95% at least, is in this rectangular aspect ratio, while all the other headsets are in the 5% of emerging virtual reality. And the economics are great for us. We can make things out of plastic using injection molding. So at about 100,000 units, we get down under $30, and we prove out customer acquisition at $12. So the unit margins are $40 at about 100,000 units.
Okay, time. A little over.
Okay, sorry about that.
Just regarding patent protection or any protection on the product, and just maybe a bit of clarity on exact your stage of production right now in the product itself.
Yeah, we have a dozen prototypes. The issue is the shape of the front optic is proprietary and unusual. It's not available commercially. And to make it, you have to use a precision optical mold. So we can't, we can't go into a direct sales model without about $200,000 for molding costs.
Okay, and from a protection?
Yeah, it's a proprietary design. Also to give you, like in the prototyping, we've done things like use shaving mirrors and cut up to get approximate shapes.
Did you have patents pending, or?
We have a filed patent on the proprietary design, yeah.
In addition to the construction of the unique optics, is there software that also convolves or changes the perspective of the actual video that's playing in order to accommodate the optics?
Yeah, we have it's called Expanse Virtual Cinema. And yes, it basically creates an experience in which you're immersed and you can change the screen size. It also opens the door for us to have like a virtual social experience where you can consume content with other people in other places. So we're working on that. So that software exists.
Is just the 2D video versus how much of the market is like virtual reality and 3D video?
Well, it turns out that everyone's using last year's CES, Palmer Luckey let it slip. I mean, everyone's using Samsung Gear VR to watch videos because there isn't any virtual reality content and because everybody watches video and TV and movies. That's not going away, and it hasn't gone away. You can see it with binge watching. You can see it in that graph.
And that's a perfect close. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go for it.
How did the AI get across the road? It didn't.
Just got a little, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. We had a technical problem, which is my fault, and I want to apologize to Eve. She made some very beautiful slides, and they did not make it to me in a way that I noticed them. So she's being body painted for her performance right now, so I want to show them. They're absolutely beautiful. You've already heard her pitch. Here's the first one, and the second one. Aren't they nice? Yes. And the third one. Her team.
Can we ask her a quick question since everyone else
Yeah.
got multiple
Yes,
questions?
yes.
Is she still here?
Can you knock on the door and see if Eve would
sorry,
come out? She's in there.
No,
Yeah,
no worries.
Just ask if she'd be okay.
Details. That's just trying to be fair.
What if there's a website of AI?
Well, she only got one question. Everyone else is so.
Two AIs saddle to each other in a bar. One says, "How's it going?" The other one says, "I don't know."
Sorry about that. I was getting ready for the performance.
We were just saying you didn't have you only had a chance for one question, so I'll ask another one if you don't
Okay,
mind.
great, thank
so
you.
Your background, how does that lend itself to the experience you're creating? Just curious.
I mean, my background is when it comes to my career, it's in music. But when it comes to myself as a human being, I've gone through huge transformational work. I've done a ton of coaching. I've coached people. I've done a lot of transformational work, and so I've transformed my personal life from being a hot mess to having a phenomenal working marriage and having incredible relationships and having an incredible life. I went from like full on rags to riches in my own existence. So I feel like a lot of the things that I learned along my life are things that I could bring to a team, including a lot of knowledge about experts and people that can also participate in the creation process with a bot being like this to help guide people in their journey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to body paintings.
See, we need icons to help guide us in life, and that's that's what I think Namu can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. Okay. Our next up, number 7, is Doc Gums from The Bot.
Good evening.
That's my fault. That's been crazy. I apologize.
Hello? Hi. Good evening. My name is Doc Gums, and I'm a world champion fitness athlete, and I have won over 24 titles around the world and have been honored with a Nobel Prize equivalent award. I have been a mentor and coach in the health and well-being industry for 15 years, and my passion is to help other people have a better quality of life. Because of this, I have created the bot, which is capable of managing data for all individuals in easy-to-access files. The bot competitive advantage is that it will eliminate all human error. The bot utilizes artificial intelligence and uses that data to manage people's performance and process that in such a way that you get the most effective formula for optimum health and well-being. You can communicate with the bot because it's coded with an expert wellness ideal, so you can have him mentor to you via your smartphone, the bot app. Okay. I'm seeking $3 million for research and development to bring the bot to life. My motivation is to bring the app to life and also to have people understand that it can be capable of helping them.
We'll get to more questions. So.
I just have one more line.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the app. The app brings to you exports at your disposal, basically. So, can I just, 1 second, hold.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just getting a bit nervous here. Okay. Because this is really great. My motivation to have, okay, we are seeking $3 million to help research and develop and bring the bot to life. My motivation, we have a major problem. The obesity epidemic has hit an all-new high and continues to be the #1 cause of death. The greatest causes of death are things that we can control. Most of us are juggling family, work, and other obligations, and as a result, takes an impact on our health because of neglect.
Okay. And we'll have to stop there. Let's get into the questions. Otherwise, it's unfair to the other.
Okay.
So just a quick question then. How are you doing this? Are you capturing people's biomarkers and other are you doing biosensing? How are you making recommendations on health?
Okay, so imagine a health and well-being app that is the ultimate hub for wellness experts, and with just one tap, you can have an expert at your location or an online appointment, share your session with others and reduce costs, have a session via virtual reality, this is right here, and purchase digital products. The bot is your personal genie in the palm of your hand. So basically, what it is that, all these health experts that are out there that have so much downtime, and so many people are just busy trying to, do life. And most people, especially in LA, don't have time to detour 5 miles and go to the gym. Imagine if you are sitting here today and you didn't get your session in at the gym. You can just go on your smartphone and literally see if there's a yoga instructor or a Pilates teacher or spiritual leader, whatever, in your area, and you can have them literally come to you within 5 minutes. It tells you the amount of time they're going to be there, and basically you rate them, and you let people know how they're doing, basically. And if you're into virtual reality, you can have a yoga session, via virtual reality, group session, therapy session, personal training, guided meditation. So you want to sort of imagine that you're on the moon, have a meditational session. You can do that with an expert. Forgive me of the nervousness. It's just I'm just super excited because it's such a great idea and there's nothing around here. And I hope that you guys get. Oh yes.
Can I just ask in there as well? Is this a bot, or is this just a marketplace for experts? Because there are a lot of marketplaces for experts out there to be able to find them. I mean, this may be better or different, but a bot for me, kind of what I was expecting it to say was that it would save my life and tell me I'm fat.
Yeah.
You know?
So basically, if you look at this right here, it tells you the bot can take a picture. You can take a picture of your phone. The bot automatically recognizes whatever is on your plate and tells you to switch up certain things as the bot recommended to help save your life, basically. Okay. So as you know, the epidemic of the obesity epidemic is at an all-high, and I think this would be a great way to help those experts that have downtime and all those billions of hours that just go to waste every year, and those people that are seeking to have someone help them. This can be
I would lead with more detail on that aspect, because the other aspect, the marketplace, is kind of, it's out there, but that's way more interesting.
The whole idea is basically to have everyone in one hub. So for example, if you want your cereal, you want to buy it at one store, and you want to buy your milk at the same store, not drive 10 miles to go to another store for milk. So we have everyone in one area instead of having different apps for all these different experts. I think this is much better.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Doc. And actually gets my thumbs up. I've never been out of shape, and I'm within 10 pounds of my high school weight many moons ago. So next up is Gunnar Newquist from Brain the Bot.
Imagine what your life would be like if you could have a real Wall-E, Data from Star Trek, or R2-D2. But you can't have that. AI doesn't care about you. AI cares about big data and optimization. But you can't get sassy humor and a personality like R2-D2 by crunching numbers and calculating the best response. You need fundamentally different technology, and that is what we do at Brain to Bot. Bring robots to life with a completely novel approach to intelligence. Instead of big data and deep learning, we use bottom-up neuroscience to reverse engineer the principles of intelligence. With this approach, we built a platform that can design the personality of any character, not just R2-D2, but Poppy from Trolls or Olaf from Frozen. The characters we build have real personality. They can learn, show emotion, and connect with you, just like real beings. Imagine going to the theater and meeting a character like R2-D2 and then being able to take home R2-D2. You see, Star Wars movies themselves made nearly $5 billion, but Star Wars physical products brought in another $32 billion. Imagine what that number could be if instead of just a toy, you could bring home that physical character. This is our vision. Help us open up a futuristic new opportunity where characters become companions.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Question?
In your write-up.
How do you do that?
How do we do that? So I come from a neuroscience background, and we found some things that actually neuroscience got wrong from my basic research. And we're fixing that with a very fundamental molecular principles up approach. And so we've designed an emotional system that works way more like the emotional system in the brain. We have a learning algorithm that is based on how molecules interact, not just some psychological phenomenon. So we have the fundamental principles and the fundamental building blocks to design emergent properties.
About how many people and over what period of time was this developed?
The principles were developed by me personally. Over a period of about 7 years, I've been looking into this. But I hired 2 software engineers to help me bring it to life. And we did that all in 1 year. So what you saw today.
In your write-up, you say you have the world's most efficient learning algorithm?
Yes.
Have you had any third party or someone else that has somehow analyzed that to verify that?
No, except for we have the theoretical limits of learning efficiency because it only takes 2 experiences without any data. So it's all time-based, so you really don't record anything. So it's pushing the theoretical limit, and that's why we say that there's no statistics.
You're talking about the physiological neural model that
Yes.
you're building based on like enkephalin, endorphin, and cortisol release, and the balance of these in terms of mood.
The principle of it, not exactly cortisol, but if you had something that was like cortisol, what would it do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, speaker number 9, we're up to number 9, is Thomas Wright with Mia Moore.
Did you know that 90% of the 54 million single Americans have used a dating app? 35 million have met for a first date, yet only 5% of committed relationships begin online. That's because people are matching, but they aren't connecting. Until now. Introducing Mia Moore, the virtual reality dating app by Virtual. Effective communication takes place through nonverbals. 90% of effective communication is body language, tone, and hand gestures. 7% of effective communication is content, yet 100% of matching apps like Tinder, OkCupid, and Match.com are content-based, producing a 95% inefficiency rate that we break through with our real-time meeting camera technology. We take people from matching to connecting by offering them enhanced experiences through curated opportunities to meet in designated areas, attending live events, or in-app gaming opportunities. We have the team to do it, featuring John Colson, who is VR gaming app patent holder, Sri Palankam, who is the co-founder of Neural Labs, who makes VR and AR and 4D apps, and myself, Thomas Wright, a designer with 10 years of experience and a former NFL player. You want to MVP a product that's going to have impact and make money. With the Mia Moore app, you're going to solve a big problem, make money, and change the way people communicate forever. Thank you.
Is the idea that people are going to meet each other in virtual reality, like have face-to-face eye contact?
Yes. So, real-time talking. So you and me could talk and play games and do whatever.
Is that something that you guys have developed the ability to have eye contact together in virtual reality? Do you have a plan for that, or is that?
Yeah, so that's what we're working on now. So we've actually been meeting and starting to work on the MVP. So basically using Unity right now to build the room and create the meeting opportunities.
So how would the interface work then? Because if they're wearing the headset and they're wearing the headset, so are they virtual characters
No. So that's what we are. So what we want to come out of this with the MVP is really working towards the facial recognition opportunities for real-time interaction. So essentially right now we have it to where you may have to speak with someone and see their headset on their face or whatever. But what we're trying to do is give you the opportunity to safely meet in the virtual world before you go into the real world. So we still want people to have real world meetings and opportunities. So if they accept you in the virtual world, they'll accept you in the real world. What we're trying to do is actually help people to really connect and interact. And then once we, as a company, we can use what we learn with the technology and the dating app and then improve opportunities elsewhere, like in the business realm or education and things of that nature.
Two questions. First one is, what's the difference between this and just mobile Skype? And second thing is, how do you know people will be interested?
Okay, first thing, the difference is the immersive environment. So there still have been stages. Face-to-face is the actual most effective communication form, even to video conferencing. So video conferencing was predicted to replace face-to-face meeting. This still brings you in that real setting. So the difference between video conferencing would be that in a video conference, you couldn't look in the 360 sphere. I wouldn't feel that I'm actually sitting across the table from you, and so there's still going to be that disconnect. This is actually bringing us closer to having the connection that we're having in this very moment right now. And I've spoken to over 100 people already, spoken with the market. I think they're watching what's going on. So if people are on these matching sites, which are actually only producing 5% of results, and they're spending on average $243, I think that validates the market as well. So people are spending money for something that's not returning any results. And I've spoken to people even here tonight, so I've gotten valuable feedback there, but I'm always constantly talking to real individuals.
What's your demographic? Because I just think guys and girls, sorry.
It's singles. So it's the singles, and it's the people who actually aren't being connected.
Thank you, Thomas.
All right, thank you.
Okay, our final 10th speaker is Jon Colson with Side Dog Entertainment. John?
See if I can do this with my hands full. First of all, good evening. Thank everybody for coming out on a rainy day in LA. I wasn't expecting that coming all the way from Canada. I was hoping for sunshine, but here we are. I'm John Lawrence Colson, the inventor of SciDog. SETI stands for SciDog Entertainment Technologies Interactive. And I'll start my pitch. SETI is developing several apps for SciDog's online platform, providing multiple revenue streams. Sorry. My apologies. I'll start again. SETI is developing several apps for SciDog's online platform, providing multiple revenue streams. SETI's scalable platform and business model offers IP licensing, proprietary advertising concepts, online merchandising, pay-to-play subscription, and sportsbook revenue. Here we go. SciDog integrates deep learning AI, seeking to develop an adaptive intelligence that learns from online participants. Gamers, athletes, educators, and entertainers contribute their unique skills to the systems matrix, serving to create what we call the AI superplayer. Often scaled back to accommodate physical limitations, AI surpasses the best attainable natural skills that a human could strive for. For developers, this limits AI's potential applications in gaming. Who wants to play a machine that never loses? SETI's adaptive superplayer enables developers to reach beyond these limitations. Gamers compete with AI superplayer, not against it. The objective, don't try beating the unbeatable machine, but rather try to enhance it with your own unique skills. This adaptive intelligence approach will likely produce unexpected protocols from which SETI will spawn new play, learning, and teaching methods. These adaptive skills will then be used to create learning systems that can be used by gamers, professionals, and students to enhance their own skills, and by industry to create new, unforeseen revenue streams. SciDog, defensible, disruptive, promotes fun, education, health, and wealth. We hope you'll join us on this historic journey. Thank you very much.
How is the information derived from the user? Is it voluntary, or is it scraped from social networks in order to build the profile?
What we plan to do is, because the internet is so intensive with graphics and it takes a lot of bandwidth, what we want to do is create a soft simulated overlay and basically marriage it with television broadcasting. In that regard, then you can play along with live action events. We'll immerse players directly into the live events as they take place. Quick example, Kentucky Derby. You're a horse racer, you're a bettor, you go to the track, or even at home, you wear your 3D system. You can ride your horse in the Kentucky Derby live in the moment as it happens. That's just one. We have multiple. I'll go back to the first slide, give you an idea. Where are we? So we have multiple apps that we're considering. That's just the top 6. I have 19 other intellectual properties that I've written that go with this platform. We have 3 IPs. I'm an associate inventor with Intellectual Ventures, so we're basically covered as a defensible and disruptive IP goes.
What's the budget that you're looking for?
The budget we're looking for? Well, industry has dictated to us recently. Uber paid, what, 250 grand for their MVP. We've been quoted between 75 and 150. I wasn't even aware of this event 2 weeks ago, so we've actually hired a consulting firm out of Amsterdam, and they have a few angels lined up for us. Admittedly, I'm not the numbers guy. Intellectual Ventures did a lot of research before they granted me this opportunity and patented this globally. We've identified pretty much all the technology. I originally came up with the core of this idea in 1999, and it's taken that long for technology to catch up to us. So it's...
And you're saying this is patented globally?
This is, yes. Yeah, we have a patent on it in Japan,
aspect?
Korea. Excuse me?
What aspect is patented? What's the patent?
If you take, how would I put it? We're caught up in this me generation. Watch me fly a kite, watch me fly off a mountain, watch me ride my mountain bike, watch me, me, me. So I've created a gaming aspect of it where we'll interject you with all of those YouTubers creating their own YouTube channels. And I'm drawing a blank. That's it. Sorry. It's okay. Cut off there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the 10 panelists who did phenomenal jobs. The judges will be scoring.
But I do want to announce to all the people who just pitched, which was amazing. Everyone is a winner tonight in some way for doing this incredible. It takes a lot of courage to present in front of judges and venture capitalists. So we have a little something. Yes. Just going to give each of you, Jon.
So everyone's equal, my 3 finalists. So BrainBot, yay. Expanse, hey, congratulations. Okay, and then Mia Moore. Yeah, the 3. Okay. That's it.